Hi guys, Steve Girardi here. Welcome to Steve Strings. Today I have another unboxing and review video for you. The company Mirio sent me a guitar to review. So let's open it up and check it out. Alrighty, so we've got the box here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek at it as it came in the box. Okay, and I heard a little something rattling in there, so it looks like there are some accessories in here. So let's go ahead and look at some of those before we dive into the instrument. It looks like in this little bag they have a tuner, let us say an electric tuner, and a cleaning cloth. There's also the gig bag, and we'll look at that in a minute. There is also a spare set of strings. That was what was rolling around in there. And it looks like they have a Mirio service card in there as well. So before we take a peek at this instrument, let's go ahead and briefly look at this gig bag that comes with it. And I can see that right now this gig bag is mostly really a dust cover from the look of it. It looks like it does not have any padding. Yeah, it's just a basic, like a plastic gig bag. It does have two shoulder straps, so if you need to carry it, it'll certainly protect it from getting sprinkled on if it's raining. It does have a little pocket here in the front, and it certainly looks like it's big enough to carry music or whatever. And it looks like it does not have a handle, it just has the two shoulder straps. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this instrument. You can see here that on the headstock it does have an Allen wrench, so plainly that is for the truss rod. Let's go ahead and take that out and put the box away. Alright, for the big reveal here. Okay, there we go. And take this cover off. And let's go ahead and take this paper off the strings. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so I'll try to bring this back so you can get a good view of that. Okay, and as you can see, this guitar is reminiscent of an Ovation. But you can see it does have the Mirio label there, or logo on the headstock. Okay, and I'll give you sort of a close-up zoom in there. You can see that. Alright, and you see it's a pin bridge and the back. Let's go ahead and look over this instrument pretty closely. Let's go ahead and start off with the headstock. You can see that the Mirio logo, it looks like it's, is that a sticker or silk screen? That looks like that is silk screened onto the headstock. And again, the headstock is reminiscent of the Ovation. And I can feel right there. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure if you can see that in this light, but it looks like right here on the very end of the headstock, it's painted over, but you can see that looks like when they sanded it, it wasn't quite sanded smooth right there on those edges. And so right there on the edge, and I'm not sure if you can see that, it's a little bit rough there from when that wasn't quite sanded smooth. Again, this instrument does have a truss rod. You can see the truss rod cover here. From the look of the nut, it's plainly a plastic nut. And the saddle, you can see, is a compensated saddle. And it is also very plainly a plastic saddle. It does have a pin bridge on it. All right. And the tuning machines here look like basic kinds of tuning machines. Okay, again, this has some basic kind of tuning machines going on. And again, I'm not sure if you can see this in this light or not, but you can see here there's another area that was painted over, but it wasn't quite also sanded smooth right here when they sanded it. It's a little bit rough under the finger there. Again, from looking at the neck is, I guess, it's a slightly faceted, and there's other examples of it not being sanded quite smooth. The neck has a fairly good feel though. Again, this instrument has an ABS body, and unlike an Ovation, which is much more rounded, this one here is a little bit more squared off, which I think might be good for yes, it's a little square in the bottom, probably less up to slide off your lap. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the fretboard. The fretboard on this, in the Amazon nomenclature, is described as being rosewood. And you can see the bridge also looks like that. I'll check to see if that is in fact the case. This instrument does have position markers here on the face of it, and it also has position markers here on the player's side. Although you can see that those position markers are set very, very low on the binding, and in fact, this one here at the 12th fret, you can see one of them is almost imperceptible. I'm not sure if some of like the lacquer finish kind of went over that or what's going on there. But you can see that it's not really clear. Okay, also from looking at this, I'm not sure if you can see this here, but right here where the ABS binding meets the wood of the fretboard, there's a slight gap there. So it looks like perhaps there was a little bit of tearaway right there in the corner of the fretboard, and the ABS doesn't quite cover that gap. And again, I'll try to see if I can zoom in and show you. Again, this is a plastic body or ABS body, and I'll try to show you that joint there. You can see a little bit of paint has sort of flaked away right there. Something I kind of like on this, and hopefully you can see this in the light, is that this is not completely smooth. It's got like a texture to it. And I think that's probably going to help it keep it from sliding around. Okay, let's talk about these sound holes. The sound holes, you can see sort of the grape type sound holes. And they have this, I guess it's like a leaf kind of a shape going on. And what you may not be able to see is I have an ukulele that is similar to this, and they have like a veneer of wood. If we look closely at this this sort of leaf kind of shape here over the sound hole, you can see that it is not a wood veneer. Rather, these are stickers, like just plastic stickers that are put on there. I was reading in the comments at Amazon, someone said that they actually took these off, and they actually have a picture there showing that they took them off. The fretboard on this, in the nomenclature, is described as being spruce, and I presume that to mean it is a laminate spruce, but I can't really tell for sure because, again, this soundboard is painted. And I'm not sure if you can see this in the soundboard, but right here, there is like a bit of a ding or a dent. Yeah, you can see it right here. There's like a little dent there in the soundboard that was there before it got painted over from the look of it. Okay. This instrument does have one strap button here at the end. It does not have a strap button here at the heel. That would have been nice. Okay, you can also see that in addition to the binding it has on the neck, it also has binding going all the way around here on this side of the body. All right, so there we go. So first impressions are it does have a few sort of cosmetic flaws to it. I'll go ahead and tune it up, and once it's in pitch, we'll go ahead and check the string action and intonation, and we'll do a bit of a sound sample. I've now brought this instrument up to pitch. I've doodled around with it for a bit, and I've also looked it over a little more closely, and I've got a few more things to kind of speak to here. One thing is, now that it's brought up to pitch, and I'm not even sure if you can see it here, but there is a very, very fine line, or like a little crack in the paint, going basically all the way around where the neck meets the body. Very, very fine line. I also checked out the intonation on this, and I'll speak to that in a minute after I speak about the action and the break angle. If you look here on the treble side of this, you can see that that E string has almost no break angle. It's coming off there, not quite straight, but very, very close to that. It looks like they had to bring that saddle down very, very low to get it in the playable range. And when I checked using my little string gauge guide here, I found that on the bass side, the bass string is at 4 millimeters, and the treble string, the E string, is at 3.5 millimeters. So the action is fairly high on this. And because of that, when I checked the intonation, every string with the exception of the E string pulled sharp when fretted. And that's a factor of the high action. The problem with that is because this has almost no break angle there on the E string, if you wanted to bring that down, you would have no break angle at all, and I'm afraid that would be buzzing. So let's go ahead and see what this sounds like. So it has some decent sustain. So it doesn't sound bad. Again, the sustain sounds good. Doesn't have a bad tone. Keeping in mind the price range this is in. So there you have it, the Mirio 41-inch long guitar. Again, this is a solid spruce top, an ABS back. Overall, I would say that this guitar has some issues. Most of them are cosmetic, that are no real problem to playing, but others are a little more problematic, and that is that the string action is very high with very little adjustability because the saddle's already been brought down quite a bit. So, and of course that's in the example that I have. I don't know if all of them would come that way. So If you're looking for an instrument that you could take out, maybe camping or something like that, this might be a good choice because it has this ABS back, which certainly will hold up to the weather well, and so it may be good for that. Because of this particular one's high action, this would not be ideal for a beginner because they may find it frustrating, as I certainly did a bit, as I was trying to play it with that relatively high string action. So I hope you found today's unboxing and review video helpful. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of the instruments that I review or the instruments that I build, please subscribe. I'd love to have you come back and see more of what I do. If you have had a chance to play one of these Mirio guitars and your experience was different from what I had here, please share that with me in the comments. I'm sure I know and I suspect other readers would like to see that as well. Thanks for watching.